pretty happy at half-time because we'd played up the hill. I think we'd done a really good job of controlling possession, controlling territory. We didn't really play that much in our own 22, which is quite difficult going down that hill. They fancy themselves going down the hill as well. So it was kind of, the message was, keep doing what you're doing. They looked tired in that last 5 to 10 minutes before half-time, where they'd had to do a lot of defending. They'd gone crazy at the ruck in the first 20, 25 minutes. They'd attacked everything there. They just started to tire us, and we'd seen that. So we were like, keep doing what you're doing. The openings will come, and we need to nail them when we do. And Harry's big message was, hills don't win matches. So don't expect, because we're going downhill now, that everything will just take care of itself. We need to work just as hard. And I think the boys did that. They went out second half and put on the points, and again left a few out there which you can see on their highlights package on YouTube if you'd like to see what we mean. Yeah, 77-0 this time. You get happy with 71-0 the week before, and then they go and find a few extra points. Again, I think they actually scored quite a few more tries this week, even though the scores are similar. I think in terms of tries, they put on a load more. They're probably just as happy with the 0, because sometimes when you get so far in front, you can kind of give up on the defence, because it doesn't matter when you've scored 50 points. But obviously keeping teams to 0 is massive. We're hoping Saturday will be a bit more difficult for them, because we don't really want them scoring 70 points every week, because that's not a good indication of whether they're ready to come into that first team. We know there's some players there who are capable of playing first team, but we don't want them having armchair rides for a month and then being called in to play against Driffield or Bladen or Penrith. So hopefully Saturday will be more difficult, but yeah, fair credit to them putting scores on like that. So reading the reports, they've come up well geared for this league. They aren't sort of coming up and being outplayed. They've been in both of the games so far. The deciding factor on Saturday seemed to be 2 yellow cards in the second half, which obviously put them down to 13 men, and that's kind of when Driffield put a couple of scores on them. So I'm expecting them to be really difficult. If it's a similar coaching team that had them when they were in Yorkshire 1, when we've come up against them before, I would expect them to be really well coached. I think they run a good line out. There's a fella there that Josh knows, who he says is a bit of a line out Norse, bit of a line out Supremo. So that'll be a nice test for our own line out King Ben Stringer, to see if we can get the better of him on Saturday. And I'm expecting a tough game. They're probably buoyed by the fact that they've come up and they've put in 2 really good performances that have almost led to results against 2 more established teams sort of at this level, and even a little bit higher. So Alnwick with another good result. York again shipping a lot of points in that game, so that one caught my eye. Obviously Alnwick, I think I tipped the first time we sat down and spoke that they'd be there or thereabouts, and it seems like it's going that way. York, it's a bit of a funny one. I don't think anybody saw them conceding the points they have in the first 2 weeks. Obviously the Penrith-Harrogate result was a big one, but Penrith's going to be a difficult place to go for all teams this year. I think not just the travel, but obviously they look like a strong outfit, having put 2 good results together. Our friends down the road, Cleckheaton, obviously took quite a few points again. So it'd be interesting to see what's happening there and what their game looks like this weekend. But yeah, I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks, teams are starting to play each other, like Penrith and Driffield play each other Saturday. I think we'll start to see whether these are freak results or whether we've got some clear front runners and teams that are going to struggle.
Just believe if you win me.
Yeah, I think I overestimated the local knowledge of late 80s Boston boy bands. I thought a few more people would have known New Kids on the Block, The Right Stuff, and it, for want of a better phrase, fell flat as a fart. But it's nice to get out your comfort zone, innit? I think all the boys did a really good job on Saturday, and it were nice being downstairs together before the performances, having a few beers and sort of geeing each other up before going out. And we're normal folk, aren't we? We don't get to perform in front of a room full of people, so it's nice to step out your comfort zone, but also nice to see the club packed on a Saturday without sort of the first being at home or without there being a lunch. and it were quality. Everyone was sort of in a really happy mood and having a drink together and taking the mick out of each other, whether we've performed or whether something had gone wrong in the games that day. So it were nice, yeah. I think the club are really heading in the right direction. We're getting results on the field, but then social events like Saturday just kind of had the icing on the cake as well.